Have you ever felt a fear so intense it felt like the world was about to end? A simple elevator suddenly feels like a prison. An invitation to speak in public turns into a nightmare. And just looking over a balcony on the third floor makes your whole body freeze. If you've ever been through something like this, take a deep breath. You're not alone. Today, we're going to talk about when fear goes beyond what's normal and becomes something that controls, paralyzes, and steals your freedom, phobias. And most importantly, how you can face it all and overcome it. Stick with me until the end because this video might be exactly what you, or someone you love, needs to hear today. Everybody feels fear. Fear is human. It protects us from danger. It keeps us from crossing the street without looking, from jumping from high places without safety, from putting our hand in the fire. But what happens when that fear starts showing up out of context? When it appears without any real threat? And even worse, when it starts controlling your choices, your relationships, your work, your life? That's where what we call a phobia comes in. And no, it's not being dramatic. It's not being weak. It's a real condition that affects millions of people around the world and needs to be talked about seriously, but also with empathy. That's why in today's video, I'm going to show you the 3 most common phobias in the world, how they show up, how they affect the lives of those who live with them, and most importantly, how to take the first step towards freedom. Imagine this: you're in a room with a few people. Nothing unusual, right? But for someone with social phobia, that simple situation feels like standing on a stage, with all the spotlights pointed directly at them, just waiting for the first mistake, the first stutter, the first sign of nervousness. Social phobia is the paralyzing fear of being judged, rejected, or humiliated in social situations. It's far beyond being shy. It's a very real fear that causes physical symptoms like excessive sweating, rapid heartbeat, trembling, dizziness, nausea, and an overwhelming urge to run away. People with social phobia often avoid any kind of situation where they might feel exposed. They don't speak in public, avoid meetings, skip parties, dodge social events, and dread job interviews. This can affect their career, education, relationships, and even their self-esteem. And the cruelest part? From the outside, most people don't even notice. They think the person is antisocial, uninterested, or distant. But inside, that person is fighting a real battle, just to look normal. Sometimes this fear starts in childhood, after being exposed to criticism, bullying, or embarrassing situations. Other times, it builds slowly, after years of trying to fit in and feel good enough. The mind starts repeating, "Better stay quiet. They'll laugh at me. They'll think I'm ridiculous." And little by little, the person starts fading away just to survive. But the truth is, no one should have to hide who they are just to be accepted. Now let's move on to another type of phobia that many people have, but few are willing to admit: acrophobia, or the fear of heights. And we're not talking about a mild discomfort when looking down from a tall building. We're talking about full-blown panic. Struggling to breathe. Cold sweats. Shaky hands. Rapid heartbeat. And a terrifying feeling of impending doom, just from walking up a flight of stairs or looking out a window on the 3rd floor. Acrophobia is one of the most common specific phobias in the world. It can limit travel, fun experiences, job opportunities, and even social interactions. And the worst part is, the more a person avoids facing heights, the stronger the fear becomes. It's like the brain automatically sets off a red alert every time it detects anything related to going up. Sometimes this fear starts in childhood, triggered by a fall or a bad experience. Other times, it simply appears without any clear reason. But the impact it has on a person's life is always very real, and often invisible. Some people miss out on incredible trips because they can't get on a plane. Others turn down invitations to rooftop events, penthouse apartments, or places with balconies. Some even avoid escalators in shopping malls or train platforms. And while it might seem irrational to outsiders, for the person feeling it, that fear is absolutely real. The body reacts as if it's facing a life-threatening danger. Even if everything is safe, even if logically nothing bad is going to happen, the mind goes into emergency mode. The feeling that something bad is about to happen is so intense that any logic disappears. Living with acrophobia often means living with guilt and frustration. The person wants to participate, wants to feel normal, but the fear shows up and takes over everything. Now imagine stepping into an elevator. The doors close, and within seconds your body goes into full alert. You feel like you can't breathe, your heart races, the floor feels like it's shifting beneath your feet. You need to get out. Right now. This is the reality for those who suffer from claustrophobia, the fear of enclosed or confined spaces. And it's not just elevators. Tunnels, airplanes, small bathrooms, crowded subways, even tight-fitting clothes can trigger that overwhelming feeling of being trapped. The cruelest part of claustrophobia is how fear mixes with a terrifying sensation of losing control. The person feels like they're going to lose their mind, like they won't be able to escape, like something terrible is about to happen right there. And unlike other, more visible phobias, people with claustrophobia are constantly trying to predict situations. Where's the exit? What if this door gets stuck? Can I open a window? They start mentally mapping every space, always looking for an escape route, just in case something goes wrong. Sometimes, just sitting in a car with the windows rolled up is enough to trigger discomfort. Some people can't even undergo medical exams, like an MRI, because of that suffocating feeling of being trapped. And to avoid these triggers, many people begin to isolate themselves, avoid medical help, decline invitations, skip commitments, and slowly distance themselves from experiences that were once a normal part of their life. It's like their freedom is always hanging by a thread. The mind creates a maze of panic, even when the body is perfectly safe. And the worst part is, to those watching from the outside, it might all look like an exaggeration. But for the person feeling it, it's deeply real. So, what exactly makes fear turn into a phobia? The answer can lie in many factors: traumatic experiences, genetics, family environment, thought patterns, and even chemical imbalances in the brain. There's no single cause. But there is, without a doubt, a way out. Overcoming a phobia is possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. And the very first step is recognizing that fear is affecting your life. Admitting to yourself, this isn't just discomfort anymore, this is limiting me, this is holding me back from living fully. After that, seeking professional help is essential. Psychotherapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, has shown excellent results in treating phobias. The process involves identifying the automatic thoughts that trigger fear, working with breathing techniques, gradual exposure, and cognitive restructuring. In some cases, working with a psychiatrist may also be necessary, especially if panic attacks are involved. But you know what else helps a lot? Support. Respect. Listening. Nobody chooses to have a phobia. And nobody deserves to be judged for it. If you know someone who lives with this kind of fear, be their support. And if you are that person, know that you are so much bigger than whatever is trying to hold you back. Phobias are like invisible prisons. They lock you inside cells no one else can see, but you feel every wall closing in. The good news is, every prison has a key. And that key begins with knowledge, courage, and support. Fear only becomes an illness when it starts preventing you from living. But even the deepest fear can be faced, reframed, and conquered. And you don't have to do it alone. There's help. There's treatment. There's a way out. So, if this video spoke to you in any way, if you saw yourself in these stories or know someone who needs to hear this, leave a like down below because that helps this content reach even more people. Subscribe to the channel because there's so much more coming your way about mental health, self-awareness, and quality of life. And look, there's another video popping up on your screen right now that perfectly complements everything we talked about here today. Click to watch it, because it might just open even more doors for you and set you free from a few more chains. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and remember, you are stronger than you think.